Hi. Hi, Dad.
How are y'all?
Good.
Good to hear.
Where have I seen that face before? No.
How was church this morning?
It was good.
Well, I'm glad. Did y'all get some breakfast and grub before you went?
Uh, yeah, I think I got an English muffin and I got a little bit eggnog.
It's important to eat something that'll get your body started as far as the homeostasis process. You want calories early, okay? So boys and girls, try to eat enough protein too, because y'all really in growing phases, and you almost can't eat too much good food. Your body knows how to handle good food. I do want you eating some chocolates, please. If you could, chocolates, and make sure you get pepper in your diet. Sometimes certain cultures don't use a lot of pepper, but it is good for the mind. How did yesterday go? Did y'all have any parties you went to, or go to the park, or swimming? What did y'all do?
No. Sydney had a birthday party. And the boys' friends came over. I just kind of had a birthday.
We're gonna have a foot race here.
Yesterday, kind of I kind of just, I did a little bit of playing, but not much. So
Studied or did what?
it's like a chill day for me yesterday.
Okay. Well, that's important. And even during the day, if you need to take a nap, I always recommend from my training at West Point, Sir Grace, and I'm your dad and using time I can best utilize through technology. But anyway, there are just some corrections in life and then philosophies you need to always adopt, one of which is be sure that you don't, dismiss your body being fatigued. So try to take a 20-minute nap, especially at y'all's age. It's funny how people get real old, they take naps. And when they're babies, they're forcing the naps. But when you probably need it the most, so you're rational and kind and neighborly, people a lot of times don't take naps. So anyway, just consider that on the days that you can. Really miss y'all. Went to mass two this morning and sang in one of them and had a real good morning, good day yesterday. Troy won and Army won. So two schools Dad does some journalism on were successful that I played at. So pray for that coach down there, Sarah Grace. He's a Christian. Your brothers and sister are doing pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay. Dad has survived the Battle of Inglenook. So I'm in Birmingham missing y'all. I'm going to do what I always can, best practices to keep some more time with you. Nothing else really to say about that. But y'all have school this week, I reckon?
Yeah.
Good, good. Well, I'm glad to be able to talk with you. Did you sing any this week, a full song?
Um, well, we went to church um on Halloween Thursday, last Thursday.
Okay. Well, work on singing one song out loud per week, please. Now, Halloween it's effectively like acknowledging the shift from the unholy to the holy. This is what the church teaches. This All Saints Day kind of transition. And Dad, as a lawyer, I actually believe it's probably correct. I think there's probably souls that just like jail or incarceration, they get thrown into purgatory and then they get released and they go straight into Jesus's presence each year at the Halloween, however you want to refer to it, hallowed ending time period. So that may not be something your mom or people in her circles adopt. And we're all Christians because we believe in Jesus. He died on the cross, he rose from the grave, we've been baptized, and eventually we're going to be there with Jesus at the beatific vision. I believe that for you and all the people around you. But I also do think there probably is some form of purgatory. So that's what Halloween is. Don't let it scare you. I think too, Sarah Grace, that we may be in this time period where we get levitated up. So we may be raptured. So some of the evil that you see, I think you may want to consider that people want to control their fears. So they have irrational fears. So they a lot of times will dress up and try to spook other people just to help them sort through their own fears. But being fearful is one thing, or scared. You always want to obey the good, but really, I don't like having spook in anybody's spirit. So the dead are not something to fear. They're more alive than we are in some ways, but you only talk to God and the people that are around you that you trust and that love you. And those souls are probably transitioning. Glad y'all had a safe Halloween. Did you go do any requesting of candy or play any tricks on anybody?
Uh,
Frank,
no, we didn't celebrate Halloween. We didn't do any trick or treating or anything.
I'm glad y'all didn't, sir. Grace, I respect your mom for making that decision. That was a very good decision. Well, I love you very much.
Me too.
Going to pray for Dad this week. I've got a contract interview, and you'll see like Sarah Grace in the Bible is Joseph of Egypt, and there's other characters. Esther was a primary character, Hosea in some ways, but really those two, Esther and Joseph, and they got placed in positions where it wasn't even really anybody's fault per se, but maybe one or two people. But the Spirit of God allowed it. So you'll have those kind of experiences where things may be difficult or boring, or they just may be tough and it's not fair. So when you practice your faith, what you're doing is you're saying these are long sufferings and something's going to be better in the future that made it to where, because that need in the future, had this current forging or purging. So anyway, I hope y'all stay strong in the faith, and I love you very much. I'm praying for you every day, and I do miss you. And I know we'll be in heaven together forever. But pray for me to have a good week this week. No attacks. Had a real good one last week, and who? I sure do miss singing for y'all too. When I'll be able to sing for you over you in the crib. Birmingham's been a little warm. It's fluctuated between 60, 70, something like that. It's got up to 84 here today. What's cool too, Sarah Grace, I don't know this coach. This guy's name's Jared, spelled Gerad, Parker, down at Troy. And in your schooling and in your churches, try to find your real, you make friends with many people who want to make friends with you, good people. But do just one or two real close friends as far as time and focus and energies. Do focus on how Jesus did. He had one and then he had three. So, basically you're always substitute between 1, 2, and 3 friends of each community. So pray for Dad as I try to give good feedback to these guys that are in situations I'm not, but this guy's a Christian and he's coaching down at Troy, and they've got the youngest team in the country, but they had a really good win yesterday and beat the point spread by like 12 points. So they were predicted to lose, but they still won, and it was on ESPN Plus. So he's I think in need of probably 12, 18-month run as he can make Troy get back in top 25. Anyway, he came from Notre Dame. Point being, get your one or two people that you know. You don't even have to really know him that well. I've shaken his hand. He knows my name, and I know his. I go to games and report on him, and then I just kind of encourage him online and in person sometimes. So that's a community feedback. Who's your closest friend now? You still going to the same friend's house over in Grandma and Grandpa's neighborhood?
I don't really know.
Not sure.
I have a friend named Michaela. She's in the other third grade class.
Yeah.
Really good friend, but we don't usually get to see her. because or have played is because her mom is like a doctor and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good friend to have. Emotional intelligence is very important, Sir Grace, because sometimes people are more intelligent than their health emotionally. And so when there's certain testing, even if you don't necessarily agree with what the person says or what team they like or how they even, you may not like how they dress or something. Intelligent people actually are able to honor other intelligent people and successes. So her mom being a doctor, that's obviously an accomplishment. And just be sure to listen and mimic and pick up mannerisms and speech patterns from those kind of people. Okay. Well, do you need anything else from me, sweetie?
Um, oh, not really. I don't know.
I'll stay safe this week, okay? Because this election stuff, people are like when you're in public, please be real close as a group, all right? And I ask you don't wear any Trump or any kind of political stuff. Just wear your regular clothes, okay? Like no hats with Trump or anything. I mean, I support Trump, but if you're going out, unless you've got some real good protection with you, okay? But anyway, you do what your mom tells you, but just stay safe and stay close to the pack that's there, okay?
Who else do you need to talk to?
I guess Sarah, Sydney, and work down Judah, Josiah, and Jamesy, or whoever's just available. Hey, girl, I'm sorry too that some of these things Dad has not had the opportunity to even just get back to where we were. I guess point being, do not be ever deceived that we had a really good life and you had a really good household. That's why we told all those people in our church how good our life was. But sometimes things just change. And anyway. All right. Well, what's up, girl?
Can you see me?
Of course I can. You got a green shirt and some beautiful, thick, golden locks looking hair.
Thank you.
Hey, I found this stuff. This is not advertisement, but for our own hair, this is what I was talking about here, argan oil. So you can get it for like $1 at some of these low end stores, as far as retail. Got them at Dollar General. I think there's some at pharmacists too. Oh, my Sydney. We had a lot of fun, much fun in over the years, and many of the best times are yet to come. Best days are ahead. Tell me how your singing went this week. What about theater? What all happened that you enjoyed and saw God's favor in?
I sung in church, and when we turned on the radio in the car, I sing there, and then I also sung at theater, and yeah.
Good. So in church, were you singing with everybody else out loud?
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. And you did your breathing exercises before?
Yeah.
Okay. I think 40 is probably not that deep of breathing, but you could maybe give 60 to 90 seconds of inhaling. The key is that you're really thinking with your mind about the names that you're saying, and you're hoping that the Spirit of God will push. You kind of disconnect your involuntary breathing, and you're hoping your lungs will just take over and continue to expand and draw in air. So when you do that, you're fully inflated. Basically your lungs are with air. All your singing comes out of the release of that air. So keep doing that. I'm sure you're doing wonderful. I've seen you got it. I saw with your singing, sang with Josiah's video there on football, and I've seen obviously Judah, his brilliance at the mall, and Sarah Grace's for sure, and James's. So be encouraged.
Can I show you something that I made?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so for me, the screen is black, so I don't know what I'm seeing, but
You can't see me?
no, I can't see myself.
Oh, okay.
So you see this?
Yeah. What is that?
It's like a glass bottle, and I put water and I don't know. It's like a weird powder. I forgot what it's called, and it makes like this. It's really cool. And
Probably
also,
timer or something. Hey. Those kind of things make me think of under the ocean. You know, there's species of fish, mammals, reptiles that we've not even yet seen and discovered. So never be fearful of like the unknown, colorful things. I saw a lady the other day, Sydney, that had a tie dye shirt on. It made me think of you because you always used to wear tie dyes. Used to enjoy running around outside with them all. I just think it's a symbol of freedom
yeah.
and an open mind. Well, did you have any events this week for your merchandise selling?
Um, no, not this week, but in
Um,
coming week I will. Like next, I think it's in 2 weeks.
there's a guy that is a friend of Dad's that had a song he made up about being a slime ball. I thought it was a funny song. He said, "They say I'm a slime ball." And he's just he's a Hebrew guy. He's probably Bunky Cave's his name. It was when I was unlawfully thrown into detention over loving y'all. I was venting, wanting to see my kids. I mean, I got a place set up. But that was his lyric. They say I'm a slime ball. Spitball's probably better. Yeah. Just throwing that spitball. Life can be messy. Again, you get 13 farts a day, 30 burps. Not bad slime, good wheat based. Yep. Get you some good yogurt, which is kind of like slime. If y'all aren't eating Greek yogurt, try to really. I think your mom's good on yogurts, but some of that stuff has a lot of sugar in it. That Greek yogurt with like 1 gram of sugar, it's just really good for that. Doesn't have a stomach, it's good for the guts. But I encourage you to have that for bacterial or probiotic health. There's a lot to the bacteria and all the basically balance you're going to want to see in your diet as you get older to stay healthy as you are. Well, sweetie, I love you very much. I've been going to a lot of masses. I got a meeting tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So pray for Dad to be wise. And this is a beneficial opportunity for me to be able to secure the contract. And then I've got another meeting in 10 days. Much of life, God guides us through the removal of opportunity, better known as closed doors. So just kind of get used to not being in control of the things that you think should happen because maybe it's a lesser good. Uh, as a Catholic, we believe in the greater pleasures. And so we think it's okay to smoke cigars, drink wine. But then there's some things that would just like we would consider repulsive and disgusting. So we follow natural law and constitution. But I guess the point is sometimes there's not always what you think something should look like. Maybe somebody gets a position on a team that you thought you should have or gets a job in the future that you are more qualified to get. Consider the sovereignty of God, which means God even controls people who are not always good people. He'll use them, the Spirit of God will, to lead you where you need to be, down the hall and on the path. So if this is God's will, pray that He'll line it up for me, that Jesus will. Let's not pray for closed doors.
Can I show you the cookies that I made?
Please, yeah. Let me see. They snickerdoodles.
Can you see them?
It looks a little blurry. Yeah, I see the shapes of it's like a Eucharist mushroom muffin. Is that cookies?
Yeah.
I've got chocolate on it. I don't know why. For some reason, the camera's not picking them up. The texture is probably throwing it off. Yeah, that's okay. Can you put it in your palm? Put one of them in your palm. Yeah, now hold it up closer to the camera. Yeah, I can see it, but it's kind of hard to tell. It didn't set it off. I don't know why.
I don't know. The camera's really weird. Like I can't see myself, but
It's
there.
actually probably Zoom's overlay. It's blurring out the background, so it doesn't have. It's too grainy to be picked up on because of the broadness of the underlying texture. And that's just what the camera's supposed to do. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
So it's chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, Nutella, and then there's sprinkle.
Well, enjoy them with some whole milk.
Yeah.
The lactal fluid of the female from the bovine species is highly prolific. It is. That's milk. To the third degree. Today's November 3rd, right?
Yeah.
So this is how you answer at West Point. You're asking for some milk, and say, well, how is the cow? And that's a code to say, I need some milk. And then the person will respond, well, like, how much milk do you want? Instead of saying like, I want 3 glasses, I'd say she walks, she talks, she's full of chalk. The lactal fluid extracted from the female of the bovine species is highly prolific to the first degree. And they hand down 3 cartons of milk. So it's teaching you how to talk in code. That doesn't mean you always have to talk in code. But be mindful when you reach you're going for theosis, which is like I'm communing with God first, and everybody else is a secondary conversation that I properly respond to. That's how you'll learn more as you get older. You know, some of the AI and the phone usage, smartphones. You kids stay strong in your communication skills is important. Is what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. I got your money in the mail. Thank you.
Thanks for telling me. I emailed your grandpa, so I was wanting to make sure. I know the hurricane, sometimes postal service. Well,
Yeah.
that'd buy you about 4 tacos, maybe. It wasn't a lot, but I want to show you my faithfulness and intentions. Dad's got people have given me like not much money, and I know they love me because they gave me not much money, but that's what they had to give. And I know people that love me no more, but in just one day they've sent what would be the equivalent of 3 or 4 houses worth of money on one check. So you just always, you do the right thing in the little decisions, right thing, right way every time. And the timing eventually works out for the more blessings. But I'm sorry, birthday's coming up on the 5th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I won't be able to see, but you'll be turning, is it 12?
Yeah.
It was a good day. I think we were on 3rd or 4th floor at St. Vincent's when you were born. Drove down and voted to Montgomery and then came back. Got to hold you some more and slept. It's fun to hold. When you kids were little, I'd hold y'all on my chest, and it's like I could feel my heart almost sinking with your hearts. As you breathe and commune with someone. That's part of why parental alienation in the courts disregard in some ways is not best, but it always works really good. We get fours and strengthened. But the people you're around, if you're eating bread and pizza or pasta and drinking, wine or soda or just juice, you're actually also communing. So you're breathing the same air. So you're not eating each other, but you're communing with each other. You're eating with one another in perfect communion because you're sharing, ingredients of life, if you will. So I miss that being with y'all, and I look forward to us having that again. But best I can show as far as steps goes is call like this and keep sending y'all cards. And
Yeah.
glad y'all look so healthy. I
Yeah.
keep getting good reports.
Me and Sarah made some cards for you. We haven't sent them yet, but we're gonna send them tomorrow.
Oh, wonderful. Now, time's irrelevant. Doesn't mean you don't respond to it. You always want to be on time, and there are certain things where there's limited times in this world. But we're working towards righteousness. Okay, so all the world's working towards the beatific visions, what Christians call it, or superposition. So you just be the best version of yourself today, then tomorrow work to be the same or a little bit better version of yourself. Because the stairs, you're either going up a little bit or you're going down a little bit if you're not conscious of it. So, you might take 2 steps up and 1 down, But as far as righteousness, keep those four pillars, the big four of the law: not kill, adultery, stealing. Some things are exceptions, but anywho, and just be happy, be holy. That's what Jesus taught us. Be happy, be holy. Okay. Sorry for the sermon, but it's best I can. That Butterfly Kisses song, have you heard it?
I don't think so.
It's a song from the 90s, I think, but maybe one day Dad will play it or hear the lyrics, but it's deep because morning hugs you can't put a value on. So I want to make sure y'all know that. I'm gonna give you big hugs when I see you. Now, did you witness this here with Josiah?
Yeah.
And that's him catching the ball there.
Yep.
It looked like he scampered down the field, strutted a little bit, had some good. So this is right there, open hip. See, boom, he turns his hip so he can catch it. Good run. That was a good play. You saw where I put your video singing online, didn't you?
Which one?
The one where you're at the park. You were at the park.
When I sung Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, come up with another one this year. It's so good. That's a. We'll sing those together in the future. It may interrupt you too. I'm sorry.
Oh, there it's working. Oh yeah, it's blurry. Oh.
Peculiar enough said, so you see on TV Army playing and they beat Air Force yesterday. There's a lot of the guys that coached Dad or were on the team with Dad that are there still. So be sure you're not. It's odd about life. There's just some chemistry. I know people that I don't necessarily like, but I love who they are as a person. I love their morality. And I've played football with. Let me give you an example. That guy that's on TV named OC Minori, he was the most arrogant guy on our team as far as like confidence. In his first couple encounters that I've met with him, and over 2 or 3 years, he became somebody I didn't really talk to much or with, but he was the most reliable, dependable person on the team that I thought was on the defense that's a friend. So the point is, just be cautious. There's others in the future that you won't really, you won't see ever again. But where you are, whether it's in school or you start a business or you're in a social setting, really it's about making those one or two next eternal friends and then going back to those circles to check on the ones that are still there. And that's always to me been something fun. That has stumbled into some big handshakes that I just have never expected. But you've got God, y'all have God's favor too. And be sure you build good, strong relationships with people that you love and that love you, moral folks. What about the chickens? Y'all get some chickens and any eggs hatched?
No, we haven't gotten chickens yet, but we have to we're gonna get them in the spring or the summer or something like that when it's more warm.
Sounds like a good plan.
Even though.
Up in Hansville, there's a ranch, I guess you would call it. It's referred to as a shrine of the most blessed sacrament. And a castle's there called St. Michael's Castle. Outside, I think it's maybe 2 or 3 miles of driveway with it's plastic, but it's good, nice polymer plastic, and it's a white picket fence that runs the whole thing, Sid. I look forward to y'all getting out here to see these horses and this donkey, big, huge longhorn cattle. it's been cool to go to because there it's so like peaceful out there. I go up with some lotion usually. I used to take care of my parents' kennel dogs. They raised Dobermans. My dad was y'all's age, and I go clean their ears out and sometimes bathe them, but usually just do like standard application of ointment or some kind of lotion. So I went up there and been taking care of those animals that way here and there. And it's funny because when I come back up, they'll get real loud, or the donkey will make like a donkey sound. He'll do a hee haw. And it's not any, it has nothing to do with me as a person. That's how, like, I mean, really life works. I provided some salve, some lotion and care to his ears. And so animals, they're a lot more sentient than even this. We're talking back and forth, but besides that, you get on the phone or your computer, those are just video games. You're just interacting with a video game, hopefully to gain information or data that matters or connect with somebody, but it's really barriers. So you commune with all your animals, speak to them. That doesn't mean they're going to give you English, responsive words, but say their name and pet them and be nice to them. Our culture is not agrarian. In those old days, these priests, and we've almost pansy the priesthood in a certain segment and way. But these dudes now, it was representing how powerful Yeshua is, and one, Jesus is, but it's also represent the blood that was going to be spilled. But these priests, they would kill animals as an offering to God with the belief the spirit of the animal doesn't actually die. Some Easterns believe that we are resurrected in our bodies, but the animals are like reincarnated back into their own same body. So I don't know how that works, but the point is, like, I think you need to appreciate as you grow up. Sometimes how the gospel bears witness of human suffering is to show us the sacrifices of animals in the Old Testament. And if you had your own pet lamb or pet dog, God doesn't ask us to do that today. But that's the kind of job the priest was asked to do, is to take the family dog or lamb and slit its throat, bleed it on the altar, and that's an offering to God. It's not like that today, and that seems very radical. But that also shows you when we don't keep the proper way how unhealthy we can be, and how really healthy Jesus was to be able to keep his temperance all the way to the cross and really to perish in the body but be resurrected. So with y'all's chickens in your farm, that you got there, whatever's going on, you know, talk to
Yeah.
them, feed them, be their friends. They're not going to talk back like a human, but they'll interact with you.
Yeah. We're gonna go take family pictures, and I need to straighten my hair. Can you talk to somebody else?
Yeah, I'll be glad to.
Okay. Can you pray for me?
I sure will. God, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, I ask you to continue to bless Sarah Grace and Sydney. Lord, I love my children so very much. I specifically pray for protection over my girls. Lord, I dearly miss each one of my kids, and I do long to be able to protect them myself as natural law and constitutional proper alignment with will. But in my absence, send St. Michael and sync them always with the guardian angel. Lord, I pray for big smiles in the picture of the step family and the family that's there, that Sydney is being encouraged and guarded through. God, I pray we can always forgive one another and will good. And so I bless that picture and pray for them to always be happy and be holy. In Jesus' name I pray, the Son of Mary. Amen.
Let me get Hi, Dad.
Hey, Joe, man. Good to see you, Si.
Yep.
I like your hair there.
Yeah.
Dude, you were cutting it in that video,
Yeah.
tearing the turf up. I liked it.
Yep.
Pivot on that soil, just dig it right in. That's what your feet, you get those bones on your feet. They call them balls, because if you get real familiar and you want to run barefoot as much as you can until you figure out what balls on your feet, how you pivot for each one. But you should be able to, you got your heels. and you probably got your two inside balls, and then the outside ball is your feet. But your two inside balls right where your toes are, and your toes comes up. That's the main way you pivot. Okay. But you looked
Yeah.
good. You had your hips turned and caught the ball. That was perfect. I liked how you caught it. And I mean, you did absolutely perfect. So congratulations on your athletic charisma and speed. Keep it up.
Yep.
Proud of you.
Yep.
Y'all enjoyed church?
Yeah, for the most part.
Felt like you got a good word from the Bible?
No, not really.
Not really. It's difficult for preachers and pastors, even though they're doing, their best. Sometimes their training's lacking, and a lot of it, Josiah, is orientation. If they're focusing on a sick model, then they're repeating the same stuff they heard other people preach. But you've been baptized, and that's what's important. You're being discipled by learning and memorizing the scripture. But y'all need to get into Saint Cecilia's, your mom's new husband, I hope, and her are hope up in the Catholicism, or at least not opposing it, because it does seem to be true that Eucharist is how God's supposed to, I believe, wake us up on the inside completely. So hopefully, in time, I'll be able to spend some reasonable exercise of religion there with you at St. Cecilia's and other, but keep going and learning from whoever is available to teach you. Reading the Bibles. If you want words of encouragement, you don't feel like the youth pastor or somebody connected with you, just read the Bible some. That'll help you. One or two verses.
Yeah.
You're doing your stretching, standing shoulder width apart. I need y'all, put standing shoulder width apart, squatting some and squatting down.
Yeah, I went on a 5K today.
Doing your push-ups and your, okay, good. If y'all wrestle each other a little bit, it's, don't hurt each other, but that's normal to be grabbing, wrestling, and but I want y'all to always not have a mean spirit about you. Okay, you don't ever want to hurt anybody. How did the 5K go?
I kind of just ran around my neighborhood, but yeah, it was good.
How do you? And you sweat under your arms?
Mm, not really.
Didn't break much of a sweat. Well, I mean, down there too, it's different weather, but doesn't hurt to push water.
What? Yeah.
You'll be able, Josiah. It's not always good to do, but and I really don't recommend it. But Dad got conditioned more like a pain model, where if you're not pushing forward with some pain, you're probably not pushing it hard enough. And so you be very careful. Your body. You can. I walked 7 miles on a broken ankle to finish March. And looking back, I'm glad I did. But then I've also done things just in personal weight training, like lifted too much weight or pushed myself so much that I've been dehydrated, cramps, things like that. Just make sure you force your homeostasis through drinking enough liquid. I hope y'all are not drinking any soda. I'd rather prohibit it, like Malum prohibited any soda. But be sure the juices you're getting into your vitamins, potassium. Bananas are strange, because they turn so quick. But I hope y'all do eat a banana or two a day. It helps with the
No.
potassium. Okay. And if you're having issues with your with your poop or anything, cheese is a solution.
Not cheese. I hate cheese.
As you get older, you may change your mind.
I hate white cheese.
Is provolone? Well, try some Swiss. The American cheese is good. It's sharp. But I didn't like your mom gets, I guess, provolone. I didn't really care for it. I get it sometimes now. I usually do this pepper jack because if you get one with pepper mixed into it, you're feeding your endocannabinoid system. Your health and wellness still sign. I can't be there every day to necessarily get through all of it. But glucose is important. Okay, that's going to matter. Your endocannabinoid system matters, which pepper feeds it, chocolate feeds it, hemp oil feeds it. Glucose is going to be fed primarily by breads and alcohol. Okay, your thyroid system, that's going to be important. Your mom has a history of thyroid stuff. Dad doesn't necessarily have any thyroid issues, but I've got some gut issues. That's why I'm telling you, as far as telling your sister, yogurt, and as you get older, you may need to consider cheese. Okay, But those are the main things
Okay.
take into consideration. But your nutrition's the point. But happy, proud of you. Miss y'all.
Yep.
I'm gonna build another place up here for you to come as soon as the higher authorities of morality will, or the ones that have got us bound up, let loose. You know.
Whiteboard.
Let's see the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Troy won yesterday. They have
Wait, what?
a school that they have reports on for the Gazette.
Dad, did you vote for